What's that, Skip? Seano's talking about Supercoach again. Let's go. G'day everyone, my name's Seano and we're going to do a bit of Supercoach content today. This is my first Supercoach YouTube video. I've done other YouTube videos, but this is my first one regarding Supercoach. I love my AFL and I love my Supercoach, so I thought, why not do a video? If you're asking why should you watch this guy, probably a good question. I do a lot of research. I watch a lot of other content creators. I also do my own research. I definitely describe myself as a Supercoach tragic. Been doing it ever since, but even before you could do it on the computer, when you used to have to send it in by the newspaper. A lot of us probably don't even remember that. But yes, so I also would call for me, a pass mark for the season is top 10%. Not too bad, I think, especially this year there's 181,000 teams in the comp. Past years there's been up to 300,000, I think. So top 10% I think is pretty good and a pass mark. And I'm very into my league with my good friends, and there's nothing better than kicking your friends' butts and then getting to brag about it next time you see them. So I do take it very seriously, and so far this season we're doing quite well. If we get into it, this as you can see, this last round we scored 2,037. That's in the top 2% for the round, and then our total score is 6,125, which gives us a season rank of 3,713, which is also in the top 2%. So we're doing well above average. We moved up 10,000 places this week, so we've had a couple of reasonable scores. This is probably our best score related to other people who are also playing Supercoach. So that's where we're at. We're in 4 draft leagues, which you guys can't really see over here, and we won 2 out of the 4, so that's not too bad. I don't take the draft as serious as my general classic league, and obviously everybody wants to win the 50 grand. It is 50 grand again, isn't it, this year? Hopefully so. That would be very nice, and I'll even take the $1,000 weekly ranking. I assume they still do that as well. I haven't looked at the price this year, but I'm assuming they still give out $1,000 a week to the highest score. In once I had the even highest score, and yet the other person won it on whatever tiebreaker they had. I think it was total score for that season. It was a few years back now. I have to say I was kind of disappointed that I didn't win the $1,000, but getting the even total round, like the highest total round score, was a big deal. But yeah, no $1,000 for Seano. Anyway, let's move on to my team, and we'll have a little look at why we did okay this week and what we're thinking about doing. All right, we're going to undo our changes because we're going to go through and do them later on with you guys. So we've undone our changes, and so Zorko did very nice. We bought in Sinclair. We tried the mid-price madness in the back line. We had both Perryman and Short at the absolute last minute. Once before the game, several minutes before the game, we brought in Sinclair for Short. And thank God we did. 100, my highest scorer this week, 162. Obviously can't complain about that. And the reason it was a toss-up between Short and Sinclair, and the reason I brought in Sinclair was basically for that manoeuvrability. Like, he's a mid defender, you can move him around into the midfield, and I also feel like he might end up at the flex for a while. Just because when it comes to the defenders, I think they're some of the only ones which we can really depend on this year, and we can really predict that who's going to be the top 6 to 8 defenders. I think we have I think we can almost predict who's gonna be in that top 8. I think you can lock in Zorko, Sinclair, and Whitfield at the moment. I mean, they're going to be in the top 6 no matter what. Then, you got Holmes. If we have a look, if we want to go, we can go and have a look. We look at players. Sorry about if the colours of the teams look a bit weird. Like, that doesn't really look like Hawthorn. It's because I'm using a dark mode, which makes it a little bit easier on the eyes and good for the video and good for the camera. So, please just look at the names, not so much the colours. They're close, but they're not really exact. So we look at filters, and if we look at defenders. Okay, so you're thinking that Zorko... Can we do it like this? No, still not going to be nice to us. All right, so I'm thinking that, personally, you're pretty safe thinking that Zorko, Jack Sinclair, I think Bailey Dale is right there. If he's not in the top 6, he'll be in the top 8. I think Lockie Whitfield's going to be there. Max Holmes looks like a good choice. Good chance he's going to be there. I think he's a pretty safe pick. Matt Roberts could even be in the top 6. I don't know if he has the ceiling, but he certainly going to have the consistency. Jordan Clark is a really good chance that he's going to be in the top 6. I'd almost definitely say the top 8. And then a few of these other guys, they're going to be hovering, what I call hovering, between 6 to 10 probably, with Malera, Nasiah, Dan Houston's probably going to be around there. Harry Hillenberg, not too sure if he can keep that up, but if he does, he'll be around there. I wouldn't be buying him in though. So I kind of feel that you sort of know what you're getting with your defenders. There's about 8 defenders you can pick, and you're pretty safe with them. That cannot be said for the midfield or the forwards. Do we really know who are going to be the top 6 to 8 midfielders at the moment? Not really. Not really at all. Like, we don't know whether, when Butters and Bontempelli come back, you assume they're going to be there, but are they? We haven't seen anything from them to let us know they're going to be awesome. They were awesome last year. I assume they're going to be awesome again, but we still don't know. Poor old Sheasel here, only got us 89 last week. Hopefully he's in the top 6 defenders. We've seen what he can do, even though he plays the midfield now. He doesn't need to be that defender pig to get big scores. We've seen him score big in the midfield. He just hasn't done it for us this year. So I'm holding, seeing what's going on. This week, obviously, we're going to get Roberts back on the field. Zach Reed did very well for us. Both our rookies did very well for us. And Trainer as well. 88 and 90. Couldn't ask for any more. It's kind of why I had a good week this week, is some of my rookies showed up. My forward and defensive rookies showed up. And a couple in the midfield. I know we had a bit of rookie carnage in the midfield, but a couple of them really showed up. So after a couple of bad scores last week and everyone was thinking about trading them, these two boys delivered good scores, and they're going to deliver some good cash gen for the next few weeks. So we just hold on to them, and hopefully they can bang out a couple more good scores this week. So that's the back line. With Dale, his 81 is a little bit disappointing, but I got a feeling that's going to be around his floor. He takes most of the kickouts for the Western Bulldogs. If we look over, if we go, I usually use 2 resources. One is DFS Australia, and the other one is Fan Footy. The two of them to get my info and stats. Bailey Dale, this year he's taking out, him and Lachlan Bramble are taking out most of the kick-ins. Last year it was the same. Bailey Dale took out a reasonable amount more than Lachlan last year, but Lachlan was injured for a few rounds. If we went back to last year, in total, Ballydale took out a kick, had 102 to Lachlan's 68, but Lachlan didn't play 3 games. And Ballydale didn't play 1 game, so he played 2 more games. So it's still a significant, you're not taking 32, over 2 games. You're not taking 15 more games. So Ballydale is the number 1 man when it comes to kick-ins. Plus, if we looked at his stats, from last year, I think this might be a better way to look at it this time. He had 2 bad games, which kind of made me feel like he was underpriced. I was keen on him pre-season. I didn't have him in my team at the start of the season, but I was keen on him pre-season because I thought he was underpriced. He had a 12 where he was subbed out, which I'm assuming he's going to be injured, which we can come down here and have a look. So here he was subbed out. He started at the sub for some reason, so I don't know why he was started at the sub, but this match he started at the sub, and maybe he was coming off an injury in this match. Nope, he looks like he was a key defender. So he got a 47 here, and then he got a 14 here when he came back on. He started at the sub. But then, as you can see, he has a high ceiling, which is one reason I like. He got 160, 130, And besides that, those 2 games, he had another 45 down here, which could be a little bit worrying. But if we take those 3 scores out, then, and we'll take out the final, because, things happen in finals, about 70 or 80 looks like about the lowest scores you're going to expect from him. So I'm hoping this 81 is going to be one of his lowest scores, and he's going to have a few big scores in his arsenal to come. His break-even's 100, so he's not going to go up very much money. So even though he was underpriced, how much he probably went up money this week. He probably already went up money this week. His break-even, he went up 15k this week. He's still not out of reach, but I think if you wanted a safer bet, you're going with Sinclair or Whitfield. I think Zorko, Sinclair, or Whitfield are your very safe bets, and by the end of the season, we're all going to want them in our defence. Moving on to the midfield. All right, so we had Brayshaw got us his first really big score. He's been okay, but this is where he showed what I bought him for. One of the reasons I got Brayshaw is a lot of people, wanted to go Sarong instead. When it comes to the Freo, I got Brayshaw because he tackles. Tackles are good for Supercoach. In and under. He's not just a ball winner. If you're playing those other styles of fantasies where it's just a matter of getting possessions, Sarong's probably the way to go. I think in Supercoach, Brayshaw is going to be a better scorer. He was, if you looked at last year, the second half of last year, he had a really good second half of the season, and I'm hoping that he's going to continue that on. As you might have noticed from the Josh Kennedy pick, I am a Eagles supporter. So it was against the Eagles, and he did destroy us. I'm surprised he didn't get the Glendinning medal at the end of the game. I think he deserved it better than Sarong. I thought he was more influential myself. Rose let us down. Rosie let us down. Vice captain him, only got a 64. He was tagged though. We will forgive him. He's had 2 good scores before that. I'm sure he'll bounce back. And once Butters comes back to the team, I can't see him being tagged. I think he'll be a pretty good pick as the season goes. Will he be in the top 8? I don't know. But so far he's doing okay. Clayton Oliver, he's up and down like a yo-yo. You never know what you're going to get. This week's an 80. Next week's probably 140. Who knows? Everyone's got him. Just keep him in there. I've had Finn Callahan since the beginning of the season. I didn't jump on him, so I'm not super unhappy with what he's done so far. Obviously, this week was a big letdown. Hopefully he can bounce back next week. Again, I believe he was also tagged this week. So this is the year of the taggers, and we're just going to have to deal with some low scores. Probably, maybe even it might be a case of trying to pick the midfielders that can break the tag, or the second bananas, the guys who don't get the tag. And that's another good deal with Brayshaw. I think teams are more likely to tag Sarong than they are Brayshaw. So it's another reason I picked him, and it seems to be paying off so far. Now the rookies, the old rookies in the midfield. O'Driscoll, what a legend. Noddy, whatever you want to call him, comes out, smashes 100. I have to admit, I wasn't too keen on him pre-season. I was all like, oh, he plays a wing and he might not get some low scores. He's been killing it, and he's been looking very good. So hopefully he keeps that up. Got some good cash gen there, negative 36. Predicted if he gets to 88, he's going to go up another 50k. So he might be one of the biggest cash gen makers of the year for us. If he keeps getting 100, he can live on my team probably well and truly up into the Pies and maybe on. Ashcroft, a bit disappointing for him. Screwed up his cash gen a little bit. But we're not really getting Ashcroft for his cash gen. Yes, we want him to make cash, but we're getting him because we wanted decent scores on field. Now, he didn't deliver that this week, so hopefully he can come back next week with a 70 plus, just to, let us know that, yes, he is that on-field guy. Lindsay, very unfortunate, getting injured, only in 9. Hopefully it's not too serious for him and for our Supercoach teams. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with him. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to trades. Camporelli, yes, I had him on the field to get Caco's score. I predicted Caco was going to get better, and he did. So that's fine. Caco's not going to play this week, so we know Henderson's more than likely going to play. Actually, we'll put Mitch back on because we're hoping he's not going to be the sub again. Was that just, was that just Geelong being Geelong? A Geelong the new Bevos? Scott's the new Bevos? Yeah, I know a lot of people were dirty on Geelong for the Tom Stewart last-minute withdrawal. And, yeah, it affected my plans as well, even though I don't have him. So I understand that. Why take him over there? Why put him on the plane and carry him all the way over there if you're not going to play him? Surely he could have sat at home on his ass in front of the TV and watched the game, and that's going to help his healing a lot more than sitting on a plane the whole time. Anyway, who knows what's in the coaches' heads. Really hope he's not a sub again. He looks good. Did screw up our money cash gen as well. He's going to have to come out, smash like 70s 3 weeks in a row now. But again, I got him because I felt he was a reasonable safe to have on the field. Well, that didn't prove the case, but if he's not a sub, I still think he's a 60, 70 type minimum type rookie. I'm happy with that. I got Henderson in last week because he was so cheap. Yes, he made 48 grand for us, so certainly can't complain about that. And he's going to make a lot more. He's just got to get 40s to, if he keeps getting 40s, he gets 45, he makes another 31,000 next week. And if he happens to kick a goal or two, get a 70 or something, his cash gen's going to jump up as well. He might be the second highest cash gen. Who knows? As we said, we hope Lindsay comes back. We'll put Henderson on field for him. Moving on, Camporelli, I believe that's how you say his name. Hopefully he gets a go. His break even is still negative 41, so he can make some cash. Hopefully he gets put back in the team and he's not made the sub. That would be nice, wouldn't it? For them to go in the team and be not made the sub. I think I would like that. Moving on to the rucks. Yes, I got Max Gawn. Yes, we are disappointed over the last 2 weeks. I had to get Max Gawn this year because last year I bought Tim English. He was the highest priced player, I believe, and he had an excellent season before where he crushed it. And so I took him over Gawn, even though Gawn was cheaper, and Gawn came out and smashed 150s like every single week. Everyone was putting their vice captains on him. Really hurt me bad. So this year I got Max Gawn. I said I'm not having that happen again. I'm not going to go Cherry. Cherry looked like he had a reasonably hard run. I thought maybe Cherry might go down a price. So I got Max Gawn, and he has not delivered. Unfortunately, that's how Supercoach goes. He does play Geelong this week. If he can't smash Geelong, he's not going to smash anybody. So, hopefully he delivers a big score this week. If he doesn't, it might be time to start thinking about trying to get Cherry into that position. It's going to cost us, he's already lost 40k. He's going to lose more this week. If he gets his break even is 212, and if he hits 100, he's going to lose 50k. So, yeah, it's going to be expensive, and there might not be anything you can do about it. You might just have to live with it, and I think, unfortunately, that's where I might be stuck with. I might just have to live with it, but let's hope that he has a bit of a comeback. TDK is killing it. I didn't make him my vice captain this week. I made Rosie, which was a mistake. I won't be making that same mistake again. He will be my vice C this week and every other week. That Carlton play early until Pitnet comes back anyway, and we see what's happening. What do I think about that? Yeah, well, considering Carlton are getting beaten and they're putting people like Patrick Cripps in the ruck when De Goning's not playing, I'm pretty sure that he's going to need some help. So they're going to need someone to ruck when he's not rucking. And so when Pitnet's good, he probably does come back. I mean, surely they can't keep letting their best midfielder ruck. That just seems crazy. Boyd, hopefully he comes back and plays soon. Rankinene, yes, got him in pre-season before the season started. Had to move a lot of stuff around to get him in. I'm glad he did. The Horny one, Jason Horne-Francis, oh my God, he's killing us. Looked like he was going to looked like he was going to be the number one forward, and he just hasn't showed it. He just doesn't look good at all. Watched the game on the weekend. I didn't like his game. I think I don't like training out premiums or doing sideways, but I think this week you'll see my plans. He's in my plans, and it puts him on the chopping block. Caleb Daniels, killing it. Love it, that's what he's there for. And then we got our rookies. How's this Davison guy? How is that? 129. Smashed it. It's got to be up there with one of the highest rookie scores, around. I mean, not just this week, not just this season, but in the last few seasons, I can't remember too many rookies coming out scoring 129, that's for sure. So he didn't have the best week. Was it the first week of the season? And since then he's been crushing it. What was he? He had a 39 the first week, something like that. He had a 39 and he's gone 72, and then he's gone 129, and he went up 76k, and his break even's negative 88, which probably will be the highest, I'd say. He only needs a 62 to go up another 60k. I'd say that's going to be the highest break even. Negative 88, yeah, by quite a significant amount. The next best is, negative 30 is the next best, by the looks of things. Negative, so he's smashing all the other rookies at the moment. Is he safe on field? Well, he's the safest we're going to get for the moment. So that's how we went. It was really, we missed this man down here. How could we forget Mr. Reid, the real Reid, as we were. I mean, as a Eagles supporter, I'd almost swap the Reids. They can have Harley Reid, and we'll have Murphy Reid, is it? We'll have this kid. This kid looks good. The first match I had him since the beginning of the season. The first match, he was like on negative 10 or something. And I'm like, oh my God, he's doing a Bo Allen. And he managed to come out and get a 50, which is kind of tricky after you start on negative 10 to come and get a 50. It was mainly due to those 4 goals he kicked in 4 minutes. So even at that point, I'm like, ooh, he needs 4 goals to get 50. He doesn't look good. Came out and got a reasonably good score the next week. What was that? So he got a 75. I was like, that's a lot better. And he's come out and got 100 this week. And obviously I watched the game. He looked very good. So, he just got to go ahead and score some. If he gets a 60 this week, which I think is reasonable, 50-60, goes up 50k. Very nice. So that was kind of why I had a reasonable score this week. The rookies. The rookies came through and did it for me. It wasn't the primos. Horny Man failed. Callahan failed. Rosie failed. Dale and Sheasel were average. I wouldn't call them fails, but I'd call them pretty average. And yet the rookies come out 129. We got 90s. We got 88s. We got 100, 104. We got another 106 down here. So really was the rookies who did it for me this week. If it wasn't for the stupid sub rule, get rid of the fucking sub. Let's start a petition. Fuck the sub off. And let's just have 5 people on the bench. Why do we need a sub rule? It's a stupid thing. It is not necessary at all. Get rid of the sub. Super coaches around the world hate the sub, and I'm one of them. And I also hate the Thursday night games, but we'll have to live with that. For the rest of the forward line, a couple more rookies. Warner had the week off, comes back this week, might make a bit of money. That's if we keep him. He's in our plans a little bit. Stone, slow burn. He might make a little bit more money. Hewitt, sub curse. Who we got? Nevitt, Mitch Nevitt. Hewitt, sub, curse. Both of them. Probably fieldable. Sorry, not feedable. If you want to feed them, you can, but I prefer to field them. Fieldable options if they're not the sub. Anyway, so that's how we got to the score we did this week. Now, we'll go on. I'll give you an idea what I'm thinking about for trades. And they'll obviously change by the time the team sheets and everything come out. But this is what I'm kind of thinking. There's a few players I want to target. And unfortunately, I've already used 2 boosts. I know if you're going to win Supercoach, you have to be aggressive. So I'm not too worried that I use 2 boosts, but I'd like to use 3, and I think that might be just a little bit too much. If I use 3, that leaves me 2 left, which means I'll probably use 1 more before the buys. Obviously you don't need them during the buys because you get 3 trades anyway if you need them, and then I would have 1 left for after the buys. I'm not too sure if I want to do that just yet, but so I'll tell you who I'm targeting though. So I need Bailey Smith. I think if you don't have Bailey Sniff, but Bailey Smith, if you don't have him, you pretty much have to get him. If you look at his score this week, he could have been much more. He had the potential to go over 100 easy. Like he had, I don't know if you guys can see it. You can't really see, but he had 10 Muppet acts and he gave away 3 free kicks. So, and he still scored 81. He's got how many possessions? 25 possessions, 10 of them were contested. If he doesn't have those 10 Muppet acts, give it away those 3 free kicks, that's well over 100 score. So he hurt me the first round, me not having him. And even though sad for him that he hurt himself and couldn't play, but it actually gave me a bit of breathing space to try and generate some money to get him in. Unfortunately, I spent that money getting Sinclair in, and considering Sinclair scored 160 odd, I can't be too disappointed with that, but I do need Bailey Smith this week. And the only way I can see I can do it is if I can either go that Port Adelaide, Morales, M-O-R, this guy, Moraes, I think it's probably Moraes. I think that's how you say his name. If you watch my channel enough, you know I'm going to butcher their names. So I think it's Moraes. I can get him in for someone like if Lindsay was out for a couple of weeks, more than a couple of weeks, I guess I could get him in. I think Moraes seems like he could be a reasonably good fieldable option, which you kind of need. If Camporelli doesn't get named, we could get him in instead of him, but we don't make any money that way. And unfortunately, to get Bailey Smith, we need money because we've only got 97k. So here, even if we chuck that 97k on top of Warner here, it wouldn't be enough. So if we went Moraes, from Lindsay to Moraes, and then we could go up from Warner. So if we did that, if we traded, and we could go, we just go filters, and we'll just go straight to Port. I guess it's probably going to be the easiest way. That gives us 177,000. So then we could bang that on the top of the head of a, depending on what we want to do, we could put it on top of a Warner. Like we said, Kako, I don't think is going to make too much more money, but he is reliable and he does play every week. Hewitt, oh my God, is he going to be the sub again? Stone and Warner have still got some money to make. I don't think either of them are going to be huge money makers. Like, he's predicted to go up 25k, and Stone's only predicted to go up to 14k. So if he gets a 38, so to make that really worthwhile, he's actually going to have to get like a 60 to go up. Another 10k or so on top of that. So Bailey Smith's is 389. So that's the amount we need. Connor Stone, I don't have enough. Stone, so we can't do Stone. He's not worth enough. If we did Warner, 368, I think we still don't have enough. We still don't have enough to get Bailey Smith, and we need Bailey Smith. So the only way I can see doing it is we're going to kill the Horny Man. Horny Man out, Bailey Smith in. Now, by doing that, I make 100k. He's 100k, even though Horny Man just lost like 30k. Bailey Smith is 100k cheaper. Looks like he can get the same score, if not more. He certainly looks like he's got potential to get bigger scores. We've seen that he's got a big ceiling. Last week he could have had a huge score if he wasn't for all the Muppet acts. So I think we're going to complete that trade. I don't like trading out the premiums, but, Horn Francis, he's going to drop a lot of money again. So I think in this case, I'm reasonable. I am tempting fate. For all you Horn Francis owners, you can thank me when he gets 120 next week. It'll be because I traded him out. You can all thank me, but for the moment, I'm thinking this is the way to go. And then it gives me money to, like I said, so my number one trade-in target, Bailey Smith. So I've got him in. Then I've got three people I like. I don't really want to use a boost, but there's three people I like. One, as we talked about, is the Port Adelaide kid. Looks like looks bottom basement rookie. Looks like he will do okay. Can be played on the field maybe, which should be good. Don't know what happens when Butters comes back, who's still a couple of weeks away, I believe. I did look earlier on. It looks to be at least 2 weeks away. So when he comes back, does it push one of the other midfielders out to the wing, and does he kind of lose his spot? I'm not too sure. But for the next couple of weeks, hopefully he could keep that wing role and get decent scores and make some cash. There's also Bice. Again, Bice, I feel like the same. He had such a good game that last game, but he had a goal, and that goal impacted the game, and which, as we know, affects the scaling. And so his score might not have been as high without that goal. It wouldn't have been as high. Is he going to get 90 every week? I doubt it. I think he's more of a 50, 60 player. And so is it worth, if I got him here for Patton, who's probably not going to play, didn't play last week and all the week before, I don't think. So I could make 19.5k by doing that. But is it worthwhile? I don't think it is, because I'm thinking that at the moment I can have one of these other guys play on field in the defense, in the defense, and I will try and use Patton as the, if he's not playing, to get the best score out of either of them, depending on, who scores more. And I will be looking to upgrade that position, his position here, very soon. It's either going to be Mills or Tom Stewart. I'm kind of hoping that Mills comes back this week, which means in about 2 weeks' time. Even next week would be good. I should have enough money. These guys should have gone up, maybe hopefully creeped up another 50k or so, and I'll be able to just slap like a... If they're at 200k, I believe Callum Mills is at 350. Put another 150 on, have Callum Mills sitting there. That's kind of my defense sorted for a while. And like I said before when we talk about defense, if I decide my next upgrade is not going to be in the midfield, if I still don't know who the top midfielders are, I can always slap a Lockie Whitfield back there, and I could put Sinclair in the midfield or in the flex. So that's what I was talking about with I like that flexibility. Not to mention 162 is goddamn awesome. So we have Bice, the Port Adelaide guy, but there's one more player that I'm really interested in, and that is Marrick for the Eagles. And you might say, Marrick? Who the fuck is Marrick? Well, Marrick is the guy who seems to be taking all the kick-ins. So he was sub the first week, and now he seems to be the man when it comes to the kick-ins. He took 9, and now Jeremy McGovern might be injured. And last week, him and McGovern took half each. The first week, he only played about a quarter and a half, and he took 3. Last week, he took 5, and McGovern took 5. This week, he took 9, and McGovern took 2. And you might say, well, McGovern got injured, but McGovern didn't go off until the third quarter. So even before that happened, he was already taking the majority of the kick-ins. So I'm thinking that he has potential. He's already gone up for 1 price rise, but I still think if you can get him this week, it's still viable. If you look at these heat maps, gotta love the old heat maps. He is playing that defender role, running out defender role, which is nice. And he scored, what did he get, 120 something? 123 this week. So he's at... $265 he cost. He cost $265. He's gone up 40k already this week, but for me, I'm thinking he can be really good as either on-field, in the midfield, or the forward line. You know, surely if he's taking that many of the kick-ins, a bit like Bailey Dale, he's going to have quite a high floor. Even if he takes 5 kick-ins, you know, there's 20 points. You know, that's then he doesn't have to do that much just to get it up to a 60 or 70. And if he has a good game, if he takes 10 kick-ins, you know, gets a few marks. That game, the reason he got 128 because I think he had 8 marks as well, which really helped. But say the game before when he got 70, he only had a couple of marks, 1 or 2, not many at all. Let's actually have a look at that. So he had the week before he only had 1 mark, and he got a 70, and he gets 8 marks. And he gets 123. So that's the big difference. So that was the real difference, the marks. And so, you know, 1, is it likelihood that he's only going to get 1 again? Maybe. But if he does get 1, he's still got a 70. So, you know, you can't dispute that too much. You know, get 1 mark, you get a 70, and he took 5 kick-ins. He had 9 kick-ins and took 8 marks. And you assume... if Jeremy McGovern's out, he has to be the number 1 man, right? He's got to be the number 1 man taking the kick-ins. He has to be. So that's why I'm keen. And I'm keen on him because even though these other rookies, these cheap rookies are going to go up, he's also going to go up. Like, if he gets a 50, he's going to go up 30k. So if I'm saying his floor's a 70, he's going to be more likely 40k. So that's why I want to get him in. But how do we get him in? So we've got 200k. We need, and he costs 65. So we need to get 65k. So basically we can choose from anyone, any of the midfielders, any of the forwards. Like Lindsay, we could easily get him instead of Lindsay if Lindsay's going to be out a couple of weeks. Connor Stone, we decided he's not going to go up too much money. His break even is already at 4. I don't think he's a big loss if we trade him out. We got one reasonable pay rise out of him. We got 40k out of him. Warner, we only got Warner in last week, but again, I don't think he's paying. He says he's going to be more than Stone, so probably tempted to get Stone out before him. So I think one of these guys, let's just say Lindsay doesn't get up. Let's say Stone. We could even do it instead of Camporelli. Camporelli doesn't play. We could put him in here, and then I'm happy for people to do that. And then if Camporelli plays, it looks like he's going to, not be the sub, you can get him back. Yes, it's a waste of a trade, but it's a trade. It's a downgrade trade for money, which I look at it as you would have done it anyway. If there's a rookie on the bubble in 3 or 4 weeks' time, you're going to snap him up to make money. If Camporelli might be a good thing if Camporelli doesn't play for a couple of weeks. For those people that don't have him, they're all going to get him. They're all going to snap him up. And if you sold him, you're probably going to buy him back because, he's on negative 41. He's going to make you 33 grand. He only has to play for a couple of weeks to make you 100 grand. If he plays for 3 or 4 weeks, he'll make you 100 grand. So it's undecided who we're going to get rid of for him. Let's just say Camporelli is named. And Lindsay, they say Lindsay's only going to be out 1 or 2 weeks. We'll get rid of Stone. Right, so out of all the forwards, it was the 5th highest this week. So if he can get anywhere close to that regularly, he's going to put the horny man to shame, right? He's already scored. If he scores even in the same ballpark as the horny man, he'll be pretty happy. So here this week the midfield is a little bit thin. So maybe we have him in the midfield this week and do something like this. Now the question is, do we hold there, or do we pick up one of those other? Do we use the boost and pick up one of the other cheapies? There's nobody I'm really targeting next week. I don't think there's anyone on the bubble going to be on the bubble next week, which we're really going to want at the moment. But this the Port Adelaide kid is the one that I'm tempted by. If someone told me he was going to play, he's not going to lose his position and he's going to play the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'd just go either Camporelli if he's not playing, or Lindsay if Lindsay's out for a couple of weeks. Get him, chuck him on the field, make some money, and then sell him out. Don't like having rookies not making money. So I got a feeling I might even use the boost if Camporelli doesn't play. Put him in, let him earn a couple of weeks. It'd be pretty rough if Camporelli came back the next week and I had to buy him back in. But, I wouldn't be the worst situation. There might be other rookies on the bubble, like I said, Kako might be time to sell Kako. Warner might be time to sell Warner. If Hewitt is a sub again, you probably got to get rid of him, or he's actually going to start going down in money. How much does Hewitt have? I still break even of 8, so it's unlikely he goes down in money yet. But Mitch Nevitt, at 30, if he's the sub again, he could, if scores 20, his cash is going to go down, and that's what you don't want. You don't want your rookies to start losing cash. So we all pray that he's not the sub again. So anyway, I think that's going to be the trades. Again, we'll go here so you can, Marek for Stone, Bailey Smith for Horn Francis. And then we're going to have a hard think about whether we want to get the Port Adelaide kid in or not. I think it'll depend a lot on... It's going to depend a lot on the team sheets comes out and Lindsay and Camporelli. One of these two is going to, if he's not, like we said, he's going to be out more than 1 or 2 weeks, or if he's not named, we could just put him there, bite the bullet. We've used 3 boosts in 3 weeks, and then we just have to sit back and kind of behave when it comes to trades for at least a few weeks. Let the rookies build the money, and hope that there's not too many more disasters like Lindsay or so forth. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking, crew. I hope you all enjoyed my video. If you did, please subscribe and leave me a comment. It doesn't cost you anything except a bit of time. Anyone who leaves a comment, I will answer. If you have any questions, we can. I'll do my best to answer your questions. Tell me what your trades are. You're thinking about your trades this week. I'd be really interested to know what other people are doing. Tell me, what do you think of the Marek trade? Do you think Marek is a trap? Or do you think he is going to be not a keeper, but he's going to hold us off? I'm hoping that he's going to hold me off to the buys, and I'm hoping that a lot of these, a lot of the team I have now, hoping it's going to stick to the buys, and I'm just going to be like picking up a rookie here for another rookie who's gone up in value, banking a bit of cash. The only forward trade I'm thinking at the moment is Mills or Tom Stewart. Get the rookies off the field. We've seen what they can do, and we've seen what they can't do. So get the rookies off the field in the back line. Even if you get enough money to get a Whitfield and a Whitfield and a Mills and put Sinclair, in the midfield or down the bottom, until we actually see who the premium midfielder is going to be and who the premium forward is going to be. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you will leave me a comment and subscribe like we said before, and I'll be back with another video soon. Have a great day.